Hi everyone, my name is Lindsay Palmer. I'm a behavioral health intervention services provider for Heart and Solutions out of the Cedar Rapids and surrounding areas. Today I come on here to show you just a short activity that we do in the BHIS services and how this may be of interest to you and or your family. Today you're going to need either printer paper or construction paper, a pen and markers or crayons, colored pencils of your choice, and some scissors to do some cutting, which I will show you in a little bit. Today we're going to be making a fortune teller for chores. I also have a pre-made fortune teller that I made for coping skills, which I will show you also. To start out, you're going to have your piece of paper. You want to make a square out of your piece of paper in order to make this fortune teller. So first you will fold the paper like this to make a square. Your paper should look somewhat like this. In order to have the fortune teller come out correctly, you will then want to have a smaller triangle made by folding down that top corner in order to make something like this. You will then cut off the excess rectangle at the bottom. So what you should cut off should look something like this. Your smaller triangle is what you will be making your fortune teller out of. Go ahead and open up your triangle to make your square paper like I mentioned before. You will then fold along the lines and fold the sides up until the middle center point, like so. Continue to do this for all 4 sides. So you should be making 4 folds in order to have your fortune teller. We make these fortune tellers just to help with communication. Also, if you're making the chore fortune teller, which is what I said I'm doing today, this can also help with independency among the children in the family. Your fold should look somewhat like this. Your square should be folded with the 4 triangles coming to the center point, as you can see here. Go ahead and flip this over and do 4 more folds going the same way as you did before, and make sure you're folding those into the center once again like so. You should be making 4 more folds here. See, this activity does not take but a few minutes. This helps with coming up with chores that kids or children in the family may be needing to do that aren't maybe getting done on a timely basis, like the parents or guardians may be expecting. This is just something that the parents and guardians and children can refer back to, just to kind of help with that communicating and maintaining of that emotional control among everybody in the family. This is how your folds should come out looking once you have made those final 4 folds. Go ahead and fold your fortune teller in half both ways. This will allow your fingers to be inserted in the folds once you have folded both sides. So I have made one fold like this, and go ahead and fold the other side like so to make another fold. Then you can see here you will have 4 flaps where your fingers can be inserted up into like so, looking something like this. You can see here my folds are not perfect. Not everything is gonna be perfect like that, but that's all right. Everybody's fortune teller is going to be unique, which is awesome. So you can see here, this is what your fortune teller should look like. You should be able to open both sides like so, which is where your chores come into place. So then go ahead and take, like I said, you can use markers, crayons, colored pencils, even just pens and pencils work as well, and pick whatever colors you are going to choose. So I'm gonna start with this purple color here, and go ahead and list what other colors you want to use. There should be 4 colors selected in order to have your fortune teller. This is a fun activity for all ages. This is something that I learned when I was in school. We did it kind of as a small art project to do, especially with quarantine going on right now. This is something that we can all sit down and do. We have the purple, blue, red, and yellow colors here shown, and that is on your outside flap. Go ahead and open your fortune teller up so it's kind of back to that square look as we had seen before. This is where you might want to use a pen or a pencil just so you can kind of read your numbers a little bit better. Markers work as well, just make sure that they are legible for you guys to see. So once you have it opened up like so, go ahead and number. You can see here I kind of did every other one, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you should have up to 8. You can do them all in order. You can do them kind of odds and evens, however you would like. and that will be the numbers you will choose from in order to see what your chore, or like this one, your coping skill will be. Once you have labeled all your numbers on the tabs like you wish, here on the inside you will have 8 chores, or as I mentioned, coping skills you can write in. Some chores that I have for examples could be like washing the dishes, cleaning your room, setting the kitchen table in order for dinner in the evening, laundry, getting your laundry to and from the washer and dryer, or folding the dried clothes from the dryer. Maybe if you have a pet at home, feeding and watering the pet, or taking the dog for a walk, taking the trash out, making sure the trash is being set out on a timely basis. Those are just some very basic but important chores that need to be done around the home. So go ahead and label whatever chores or activities that you want to be done around the home. In here, like I said, there should be 8 of them in there. Show you my coping skills, one that I made in advance. So coping skills are something that we use a lot in BHIS services. They help us control our emotions, communicate more effectively with each other once we have kind of de-escalated. So some coping skills that we use a lot through BHIS services are drawing. Drawing is a very good coping skill. It kind of helps us just de-escalate and get our mind back on track with what our thoughts are and how to process those thoughts. Deep breathing, taking those deep breaths, helps us also do the same. We also like to do animal yoga. That's something we use a lot with the younger children we see in services, and those are a lot of fun just to make kind of funny figures with our body. We call yoga. Talking to someone you trust, that's very important. If that's a parent and guardian, or just a community member or a church member that you see on a regular basis, being able to talk with someone you trust is a very good coping skill. Helps you de-escalate and be able to communicate effectively with others. Counting to 10 on our fingers, tracing our fingers, we do that a lot in session. Just being able to trace, taking those deep breaths, just kind of gets our mind back on track. So those are just some coping skills. If that's what you prefer to do instead of the chores, that's totally fine. It's also very effective. So once you have picked if you want coping skills or chores, that is your fortune teller. And I will do just a short example of how that fortune teller may be used. So if you feel escalated or frustrated with one another, or you feel like maybe your child hasn't been listening, coming to your fortune teller and telling them, this is an activity that you guys can both utilize within one another, coming to them and saying, hey, let's pick a color and see what kind of coping skill or chore we want to effectively use today. So say we chose green, so we would go GREEN. And as you can see, my 4 choices of numbers are 2, 4, 6, and 8. So I'm going to choose 6 for today, and that is drawing. Underneath the 6 flap, you can see I have draw. So that would be the coping skill that parent or guardian, whoever is communicating with or trying to communicate with the child, that would be a coping skill that the child could use, the parent or guardian could use, just to kind of get that emotional control back on track. So BHIS not only helps the family and child, but it also helps everybody, within the community, everybody that you may come in contact with, just helping, expressing the emotions and communicating effectively among everyone. Thank you everybody for watching.
Behavioral Health Intervention Services, or BHIS as we call it, is for children ages 4 to 19 years old, and it focuses on behaviors that appear at home and in school. So BHIS is an in-home counseling program through Medicaid, and it's available to children that are currently on Title 19. So BHIS is just an excellent complement to therapy services because therapy is more about uncovering the why of the issue, while BHIS is more about addressing the how of improving our behaviors in those symptoms that are typically associated with things out of our control. So there are many ways to identify if your child or other children could benefit from BHIS. A few examples are if your child's having difficulty concentrating or following directions, if a child is being bullied, or if you've noticed a change in eating or sleeping patterns, if you've noticed difficulty in adjusting to a move or the drastic change of social distancing, or if the child is having difficulty resolving the behavior on their own. If you think that your child or your family can benefit from BHIS services, please call us at our toll-free number, 800-531-4236. Heart and Solutions would love to help you and your family navigate difficult emotions in any time of the year. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you think you or a loved one could benefit from behavioral health intervention services.